Good morning, children. Today we will discuss about equiangular spiral antenna. Let us go with the presentation. Spiral antenna, equiangular spiral antenna. Now let us consider the equiangular spiral antenna. So the surface of the equiangular spiral antenna shape can be described completely by its angles. That means here whenever you are considering the equiangular spiral shape antenna, the surface can be completely described by the angles. So this antenna it fulfills all the necessary conditions for the in the design of frequency independent antennas because this is a frequency independent antenna and it fulfills all the necessary conditions for the frequency independent antennas. So here if you consider the curve of this equiangular spiral shape antenna, the curve along the surface extends to the infinity and it is necessary to fix the length of the arm for the finite size of the antenna. So when the total arm length is comparable with the wavelength, that means here if you compare the total arm length with the wavelength, the frequency which we are operated is the lowest cutoff frequency. So beyond this lowest cutoff frequency, the impedance characteristic and the pattern of the antenna is frequency independent. Planar log spiral antenna. So the shape of the equiangular plane spiral curve can be obtained from the equation by taking the derivative of f theta. That means f theta derivative we can write as f dash theta, which can be written as df by d theta, which is equals to a delta pi by 2 minus theta. So here a is the arbitrary positive constant, delta is the Dirac delta function. So thus this equation, that means whenever we are considering the derivative of this f theta, this equation becomes r at theta equals to pi by 2, which is equals to rho, which is equals to a power a into e power a phi when theta equals to pi by 2. When theta equals to 0, so this rho becomes 0. So when theta equals to, well, theta not equals to pi by 2. Here, when theta equals to pi by 2, rho equals to a into e power a phi. When theta not equals to pi by 2, rho is equals to, here it is 0. So where a value, the value of a equals to rho naught e power minus a phi naught. Then r at theta equals to pi by 2 equals to e into a phi into a. So here which is equals to, so here this is printing mistake. This is not r naught, this is rho naught. So why? Because a value rho naught e power minus a phi naught. That's why here this is a printing mistake. It is phi naught into e power minus a phi naught into e power a phi. So r equals to because here we have considered r at theta equals to pi by 2. So r equals to r naught. So this is also rho naught, not r naught, printing mistake because a value it is here we have a equals to rho naught e power minus a phi naught. So here r equals to rho naught e power a into pi minus phi naught when theta equals to pi by 2. When phi equals to 0, r value equals to 0. So thus here this equation represents the equation of the equiangular spiral where it is a here we have a small a. So small a is the rate of expansion and phi naught is the orientation. Phi naught is orientation, a is the rate of expansion. So according to the ideal theoretical analysis, the antenna shape is assumed to be infinite. So theoretical analysis, if you consider the ideal theoretical analysis, antenna shape is assumed to be infinite. But practically, antenna should be cut at some finite distance or at the terminals. That means here we have to cut at a particular where the radiation becomes zero or negligible. We have to cut that one. Practically, we are using to cut that we have to truncate at that antenna. So, according to the ideal theoretical analysis, antenna shape is assumed to be infinite, but practically it is not possible because the antenna should be cut at some finite distance or at the terminals. So some simple shape of the frequency independent planar antennas we will show here. These are the planar antennas. So this is we can see it is a single spiral and here we have this is two spirals which phi naught equals to 0 comma phi, and here we can observe here this is psi, this is phi naught and this is phi, and here this is theta, and here this is the single spiral and multiple spiral. So here we can observe three spirals where phi naught equals to 0, phi naught equals to pi by 2, uh, pi by 2, 0, pi by 2, pi, and these are multiple spirals here. These are the multiple spirals. So these are the spiral wire antennas. So here Z1 is the input impedance of the antenna for phi 1 equals to alpha. So Z2 is the input impedance of the antenna for phi 1 is equals to pi minus alpha. So these are the input impedance of antenna at phi 1 equals to alpha, phi 1 equals to pi minus alpha. So these are the single spiral, two spirals, multiple spiral. So two antennas form the complementary screens, and hence we can write. So we have already input impedance here Z1. So if the two antennas form the complementary screens, we can write Z1 into Z2 equals to eta square by 4, or phi 1 equals to when phi 1 equals to pi by 2, Z1 equals to Z2. So this is the equation. So whenever we are considering the two antennas form the complementary screens, when phi 1 equals to pi by 2, Z1 equals to Z2. So the equation is Z1 dot Z2 equals to Z1 into Z2 equals to eta square by 4. So then Z1 square equals to is eta square by 4, which is equals to Z2 square, or Z1 equals to Z2 equals to eta by 2. But already we have a value eta equals to 125. Then Z1 equals to Z2 equals to 60 pi, which is similar to the 188.4 omega. So thus the theoretical value of the input impedance of the antenna is, this is the theoretical value of the input impedance 188.4 omega, but practically the value of the measured input impedance is observed to be 164 omega, which is small when compared to the theoretical value. Practical value it is small when compared with the theoretical value. So thus there is a difference between the theoretical and practical values of the input impedance due to the finite arm length, finite plate thickness, and non-ideal feeding conditions. So these are the three conditions why we have obtained the difference between this practical value and the this theoretical value and the practical value. So because due to the finite arm length, finite plate thickness, and non-ideal feeding conditions. So next one we'll see frequency independent conical spiral antennas. Already we have seen equispiral antennas. Now we will see conical spiral antennas, frequency independent conical spiral antennas. So the shape of the non-planar spiral antenna can be defined by selecting derivative of f theta. That means already so derivative of f theta is nothing but f dash theta, which is equals to df by d theta equals to a delta beta minus theta. So here beta is any angle in the range between, beta lies between pi and 0. That means beta less than or equals to pi, greater than or equals to 0. So this is the, so when we are considering the derivative of f dash f theta, we will obtain the shape of the non-planar spiral antenna. So we can define by taking the derivative of f theta the shape of the non-planar spiral antenna. So here for the given value of beta, equation 6. So this equation along with the equation number 8 describes a spiral wrapped on a conical surface. So the edges of such conical spiral surface can be given by R2 equals to R2 into e power a sine phi naught into theta naught into phi. So therefore R2 value equals to R2 e power b phi, where b equals to a into sine theta naught. So here b is, so here a sine theta naught is b. That means we are replacing a sine theta naught with b. So R2 equals to R2 dash e power b phi. So here for the given value of beta in the equation number 6, and along with the equation number 8, we will see equation number 8. These describes a spiral wrapped on a conical surface. So edges of the conical spiral surface. So these are the edges of the conical surface spiral surface antenna. So here also R3 equals to R3 dash e power a sin phi theta naught phi, which is equals to R2 dash into e power minus a sin theta naught delta into e power a sin phi into a sin theta naught into phi. So this is the R3. R3 equals to R3 dash into e power a sin theta naught into phi. So already we have seen. So here R2 dash into e power b equals to here a sin theta naught, and here R2 equals to, we have R2 dash e power a sin theta naught into phi. So this is the R3 value, which is equals to this one. So R3 equals to R2 dash e power a sin theta naught into phi minus delta, and R3 dash equals to R2 dash into e power minus a sin phi naught theta naught into delta. and theta naught is the half of the total included cone angle. Here theta naught is half of the total included cone angle. So if we consider larger the theta values in the range between pi by 2 and 0, that means if you consider theta value in the range between theta less than or equals to pi by 2 and greater than 0, so tightly wound spiral will be less. We can observe less will be the tightly wound spirals. So conical spiral shaped conducting structure can be constructed using the printed circuit technique, which serves as a support. So feed cable is wound to the metal arms which are wrapped around the cone. So by using, so now let us see. So this is a two arm balanced conical spiral antenna. So this is the, here we can use the feeding from here. This is the apex, and here this is coaxial cable. From here we can feed. So here we have the transmission line. So here by using the balanced transmission line, conical equiangular antenna is fed at the apex. So here by using the transmission line, conical and this we can feed at this apex. This is apex. So line is carried up to the apex inside the cone along the axis. So here we can observe the line inside the axis. So main difference between the conical spiral and planar spiral antenna. If you consider the difference between conical spiral antenna and the planar spiral antenna, so conical spiral antenna provides unidirectional, that means single directional radiation in a single lobe towards the apex. So here we can observe in the case of conical spiral antenna, which provides a unidirectional radiation in a single lobe. Not, we don't have any minor lobes here. So single lobe towards the apex of the cone with a maximum along the axis. So in conical antennas, circular polarization is obtained. Circular polarization is obtained and relatively constant impedance or the bandwidth are presented. So input impedance of the conical spiral antenna ranges between 100 to 150 omega, and for pitch angle alpha equals to 17 degrees and full angles 20 degrees to 60 degrees. So here we can observe here. We can observe in the conical spiral only single unidirectional antenna, unidirectional radiation only in a single lobe towards the apex of the cone. So bandwidth depends on the ratio of the base diameter to the truncated apex diameter. So bandwidth depends upon the ratio of this base diameter to the truncated apex diameter, and ratio may be chosen arbitrarily large such as 5 is to 1 or more. That means here 5 it is the base diameter, ratio of base diameter to the truncated apex diameter. So large such as, so we, if we choose large angle, so arbitrary large, it is 5 is to 1 or more. Thank you, children.